The Rift, Chapter 11. A storm on the horizon. Inside of the convenience store, cracked windows let in cold gusts of wind, and a distant storm brews outside. Wendy Broach, Alex, and Simon Wharton are huddled at the counter studying a hand-drawn map of the area. The mood is tense but determined. We'll start with the eastern entrance. That wall is fragile, too many windows. If it falls, we lose control of the entire front, said Wendy. We'll block it with shelves and crates. If we reinforce the windows with boards, it might hold for a while. But the real problem is the rear. It's a blind spot. If they sneak through, they could pin us down from inside, Simon said. Smart, but the barricades won't be enough on their own. We need fallback points inside the store. She points to the storage room in the back. This area can be our safe zone if things get overwhelming. It's smaller but manageable, said Wendy. We've been holding out okay so far, but it won't stay that way. Supplies are running low and everyone's exhausted, said Simon. And morale. It's hanging by a thread. People are afraid. They look to us, but they know we're just one bad wave away from losing everything, Wendy said. That's why we need this place fortified. If we fall here, it's over not just for us, but for everyone else waiting for rescue, said Alex. The sound of the wind intensifies, rattling the loose boards covering the windows. Simon looks toward the entrance, as if expecting trouble at any moment. So we make sure it doesn't come to that. We fight smart, fight hard, no second guessing, Simon said. The quiet tension in the room is shattered by the sound of the back door creaking open. Cold air sweeps through the room, sending a chill down everyone's spine. All heads turn toward the entrance where Nate Turner stands, brushing frost off his black trench coat with an amused smirk. His presence changes the dynamic immediately, adding a mix of frustration, hope, and challenge. Nate's distinct features, tousled black hair falling just above his sharp, amber eyes, which glimmer with playful mischief and relentless calculation. He has a lean, athletic build, more suited for agility than raw power. Nate exudes the aura of someone who's always 2 steps ahead, carrying himself with easy confidence. We need to secure that block. The bakery, the hardware store, potential vantage points, maybe even some supplies. If we can fortify those positions, we might have a fighting chance. The bakery could provide a higher ground for surveillance, and the hardware store might still have tools or materials we can use. Nate grinning with a playful edge in his voice. So, the big plan is to pile some shelves and hope the demons get bored. He strolls toward the group, his hands casually buried in his coat pockets. He leans over the counter, peering at the map sprawled on the table. Wendy tilting her head slightly, introducing Nate to Alex. Alex, meet Dr. Nathaniel Turner. Nate is a researcher and strategist, and more importantly, my spokesperson. His specialty is demonology and ancient artifacts. Nate gives a half bow with a smug grin. Just call me Nate. Dr. Turner sounds so formal, Nate said with mock humility. Alex nodding politely. Nate, good to meet you. Likewise. Now let's see if we can make sure it's not the last meeting, Nate said. And Nate, this is Alex. You could say he's been instrumental in keeping us alive so far, Wendy said. And Nate giving Alex a curious, approving look. Ah, the mystery man with the magic power who killed a whole bunch of demons. I've heard a lot about you here, Alex, smiling faintly. Nice to meet you. I just try to help where I can. Nate with a mischievous grin. Well, let's see if you're ready for the big leagues. Wendy cutting in with a hint of impatience. So, Nate, if you've got ideas beyond sarcasm, now's the time to share them. Nate tapping the map with a finger, leaning over it. Defense is fine, but offense, that's where things get interesting. Simon folding his arms, skeptical. And what exactly are you proposing? Nate, his eyes gleaming with excitement. We create chaos, smoke, confusion, traps. But we don't just survive, we fight back. Give the people some real firepower. Alex nodding thoughtfully. I've got plenty of weapons and armor in my inventory, Magic. Just need to hand them out. Nate, Simon and Wendy exchange puzzled looks, unsure of what Alex means. Nate's curiosity gets the better of him. Nate intrigued, leaning closer. Wait, is that even possible? Inventory? What exactly are we talking about here? Simon narrowing his eyes. You mean you've been carrying weapons this whole time? How does that even work? Alex shrugs casually as if it's no big deal. It's complicated, Alex said. Think of it like an invisible storage system. I can summon what we need on the spot: armor, shields, weapons, enchanted gear, whatever it takes. Nate's expression shifts to one of fascinated intrigue. He rubs his chin, clearly intrigued by the potential, Nate grinning slyly. So, you're telling me we've got a walking armory on our side? Now that's something I can work with. Wendy's still skeptical, but slowly coming around. And you're sure you can pull this off? Give people weapons and armor they've never even seen before. Alex nodding firmly. Absolutely. I just need to know who's getting what. Nate gives Alex an approving nod, clearly excited by the possibilities. Nate grinning. Well then, mystery man, looks like you just became our trump card. Simon glancing at Nate. If he's got the right gear, we might stand a chance. Alex with a faint smile. I've got exactly what all you need. Nate smirking. Finally, we're cooking with fire. Let's arm up and show those demons they picked the wrong town. The tension in the room lifts slightly as the pieces fall into place. With Nate's confidence, Alex's inventory and Simon's marksmanship, the ragtag group feels a glimmer of hope. It's still a risky plan, but now there's a sense that victory might not be impossible after all. The survivors are gathered around, their faces showing varying degrees of exhaustion, fear, and determination. Wendy Broach stands at the center of the group and addresses them with a calm but firm tone. All right, everyone, we're all in this together now, and it's important that we know who we can count on. Let's introduce ourselves, name, age, and anything that might help us understand your skills. I'll go first, Wendy said in a high voice. She clears her throat. My name is Wendy Broach. I'm 40 years old and the mayor of Oakridge. My priority is keeping you all safe and organized, ensuring we find a way to survive this. I know we're facing something beyond anything we've ever imagined, but together we'll figure it out. Wendy gives a slight nod, indicating for the next person to speak. But before anyone can speak, Victor Klein cuts in. Victor, impeccably dressed in a tailored navy suit with slicked-back grey hair and sharp features, throws up his hands in exasperation. Really? Is this necessary? What's the point? It's not like knowing each other's names will save us from whatever nightmare we're in. He sighs dramatically, adjusting the gold cufflinks on his sleeves. The others exchange awkward glances, but Wendy fixes him with a stern look. Victor, we're all doing this. Now introduce yourself, please. With a huff, Victor gives in and straightens his posture. Fine. Victor Klein, 62 years old, one of the wealthiest men in Oakridge. I've built businesses from the ground up and I know how to manage people. If we need resources or negotiations, assuming there's anything left to negotiate, I'm your man. He folds his arms, clearly not pleased with the situation. Victor gives a slight nod, satisfied that the introduction is over, and steps back. Wendy lets out a breath, but doesn't lose momentum. A tall and tousled black hair falling just above his sharp amber eyes and glasses slipping down his nose steps forward. I'm Dr. Nathaniel Turner, but everyone calls me Nate. I'm 50 years old and I work as Mayor Broach's spokesperson. What you see in front of the cameras isn't the full story, though. I specialize in demonology and ancient artifacts, so if we're up against the supernatural, I might have a few tricks up my sleeve. Simon, with a strong build and close-cropped hair, sports a serious demeanor and a rugged face marked by the lines of battle. Simon Charles Wharton, I'm 48. Former Marine sniper, served my time. Thought I was done with war. Guess I was wrong. For now, I'm here to make sure Wendy stays alive and that none of you do anything stupid that gets us killed. I don't miss. Simon's gruff demeanor earns a few glances, but he merely shrugs. Lily, with her mother's striking blue eyes and wavy brown hair clinging to Wendy's side, she speaks up shyly. My name is Lily Broach. I'm 8 years old. I just want to be with my mum and stay safe. Wendy squeezes Lily's shoulder reassuringly. Alex steps forward, rubbing the back of his neck awkwardly. I'm Alex Carter. I'm 21. I dropped out of college, and before all this, I mostly just played MMORPGs. Weird, I know, but those games, they're the reason I've made it this far. I'm good at strategy and fighting, and, well, I'll do what I can to help us survive. A tall African-American woman with curly red hair and striking features adjusts her glasses and steps forward with confidence and offers a soft smile. Hi, I'm Emma Roberts. I'm 19, and I've always been fascinated by ancient cultures and the occult. Turns out all those old stories and rituals I studied weren't just legends. With an athletic build and dark, closely cropped hair, stands confidently steady tone. I'm Malik Roberts, 22. I was on track to go pro in athletics, but, well, things changed. Now my job is making sure my sister stays safe and fighting on the front lines. If you need someone fast and ready for battle, I'm your guy. Evan leans against the wall, shifts his weight with a slightly unkempt look, dark hair and a piercing gaze, his voice low and cautious. Evan Michaels, I'm 23. Not much to say. I grew up bouncing around foster homes. Never really had anyone to rely on, so I learned how to survive on my own. I prefer to work in the shadows, but if I have to fight, I'll fight. June grins, his athletic physique and spiky black hair giving him a youthful energy, and steps forward. June Sang-ho, a Korean, 24, martial artist, here for a tournament. Until, the world ended. I'm good at hand-to-hand combat and can keep a cool head in a fight. Stick with me, and I'll make sure we come out on top. A tall with long braids and deep-set eyes that seem to hold wisdom, speaks with a deep, calm voice. I'm Tsuta Wells, 53, a Native American. I come from a long line of warriors and spiritual guides. My experience in combat and my understanding of the spiritual world will help guide us through these dark times. Together, we stand strong. Ayana stands proudly beside her father. Ayana stands with an assertive posture, her dark curly hair framing her face. Ayana Wells, 25. I was raised to fight and protect what matters most. If you need someone fast, precise, and ready to take down a demon, I'm your girl. I won't hesitate when the time comes. Milo gives a sheepish wave, his disheveled hair and tired eyes reflecting his worry, his nervousness evident. Milo Thompson. I'm 55. I just run this corner store, really. Not much of a fighter, but if you need supplies or some friendly advice, I'm here to help however I can. Lyra offers a shy but polite smile. Lyra, a petite Filipina nurse with warm brown skin and long black hair tied in a practical ponytail, offers a shy but polite smile, her nurse's uniform slightly wrinkled but still professional. Hi, I'm Lyra Rodriguez. I'm 26 years old and I work as a nurse. I know how to take care of injuries and manage emergencies. I just want to help everyone stay safe and healthy during this situation. As the last person finishes, the room falls into an uneasy silence. Wendy looks around, taking in the faces of those who now stand as allies in this grim new world. All right, now that we know each other, Let's make sure we use our strengths. We'll need everything we've got to survive, said Wendy. The group exchanges glances, some nodding in quiet agreement. In the face of the unknown, they are no longer strangers, they are allies bound by survival. As the introductions wrap up, Alex steps to the side, taking a deep breath. His mind races with thoughts of how they will survive. Then a flicker of determination crosses his face. All right, everyone, we've shared our names, but now I want to know what you can really do. I'm going to assess each of you to see how we can use our skills to our advantage, said Alex. He looks at each person in turn, focusing on their demeanor and physical attributes, and begins to articulate his observations. To be continued. The Rift, Chapter 12, Gathering the Allies.